Okay, with handout 12C, we're going to finish up our glial cells. So let's get right to that. And the next type of glial cell is called microglia. And they kind of look a lot like our astrocytes. They kind of look like little stars. But microglia are going to be specialized macrophages. They're part of your immune system. Um, Remember, I told you just a few minutes ago that we have these astrocytes that form a blood brain barrier. That prevents substances from getting to your brain and spinal cord. So, our typical immune cells, macrophages, neutrophils, eosinophils, these cells cannot get into the central nervous system. Because they can't get into the central nervous system, your central nervous system is challenged with protecting itself. So the nervous system itself has its own immune cells, and they're called microglia. So it says they are specialized macrophages. They're going to respond to inflammation, and they work a lot like macrophages. They're going to phagocytize microorganisms, foreign substances, damaged and dead tissue that are in your nervous system. So, for example, if let's say a person gets a concussion, they have some damage to their tissue in their brain. That kind of head injury can cause a bruise, things like that that occur in the brain. And our microglia can go in and help repair that damage. Also, it's very serious, but if we were to get a bacterial or a viral infection in the brain, the microglial cells would be those cells trying to fight off that pathogen. Okay, now the final glial cell is a cell called a Schwann cell. Now, Schwann cells are going to be doing the same thing as oligodendrocytes. They're going to be making these myelin protein insulation sheaths, but they're going to be doing it in the peripheral nervous system, not the central nervous system. So the oligodendrocytes are going to make myelin in your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord, but the Schwann cells are going to be making myelin in their peripheral nervous system. So you can see here this is an axon, a picture of an axon that is in the peripheral nervous system. And the myelin is this protein wrapping around that axon. I really think of it as like it's a hot dog bun. So your axon is the hot dog, and the myelin sheath going around it is like the hot dog bun. Now, it says, number 2, that they encircle the axons, but the axon is going to be continuous. It's like a really long hot dog, but the myelin sheath made by the Schwann cells are smaller. So what we end up with are these gaps called the nodes of Ranvier. And think of it as like you have a 12-foot long hot dog. That's the axon. So you have 12 feet of hot dog, a continuous hot dog. And then you only have regular size hot dog buns. So you're putting regular size hot dog buns on this really long hot dog. Well, there's going to be a space in between each bun. That is called the nodes of Ranvier. And what that does is it allows diffusion of substances, ions and such, into the axon. So there's a reason why we have this gap and we have this really long hot dog with just regular size hot dog bun myelin sheaths. And these nodes of Ranvier are going to allow diffusion of ions and substances into that axon. And so these Schwann cells are going to be producing myelin in the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so that takes care of our glial cells. All right, so now we have the basics to the nervous system. We have the major cells, we have the major subdivisions, and so we're going to move on to the next part of the chapter here for our next several videos.